Hi guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on my Godfather OG. These are both two strains of that from Seedsman Seeds. Today's our third week of flower, so third week of stretch. I've definitely seen the stretch in them, which is pretty cool. Nice looking plants. Easy. This one I defoliated a lot today. Just today. I'll do some more. It needs a little more. And I did leave a few big leaves on the back side of it, just in case, they're going to show if there's a problem with the plant before the new growth. This one I'll go through heavy tomorrow and defoliate that. It's just something I do at the 3-week mark. These plants are looking good. They're in 5-gallon. I have Fox Forest Farm soil. I amend it, and then I usually leave about 4 inches on the top surface empty in the beginning, and that's so I can top dress these plants and mix either worm casings or and my nutrients. I use a guy green. I use a couple other things. I add CalMag. Right now with these plants, I just watered them. That's why they're kind of not looking as happy as they should. They weren't watered yesterday. So what I do is I feed them. I give them recharge once a week. But so anyways, I feed my plants organic nutrients through the top dressing, but I also go directly to the root as well with a guy green, and so I'll do that pretty heavy, and but I'll defoliate the hell out of these, and I use silica. So I'm basically feeding and watering and giving some CalMag, not a whole lot, on one day, and then once a week recharge, and then every third day I give silica, just silica and water. I just pH it 5.8 to 6.2, whatever, if it lays around there, and that'll make these stronger. I mean, these are stronger already, so I won't have to support these. Those are pretty decent. You can see I've lollipopped these plants somewhat. This one especially. I just go in, I cut the satellite branches off. You can go down in there. If you see a 3-inch branch, a 2-inch branch, cut it off. It's just wasting your energy. Pull a lot of these leaves out. I pulled a lot off. This is an OG plant, so most true OGs, when you turn them into a bush, have a lot of leaves. This one right here has impressed me. It really took off with the 3-week growth, and these plants probably still have a couple more weeks of growth. The par they're getting, or DLI, I guess the DLI would be, you'd call it 32% right now, but I'm also at 827 parts per million CO2. I'm getting that from the CO2 auto pots, mycelium. That's what it basically is. At first I didn't think it worked, but after the mycelium activated, it's actually quite impressive. And these plants are using some of the CO2 as well, so you shouldn't expect to get super high readings, but you should expect to get higher, twice as high readings as you would with your ambient 420 or wherever you live. So these plants are doing good. I opened up a lot of sites today to get the light down in there. That's what sucks, is the canopies are pretty close on these. But I'll be honest, these are SF Spider 1000s, they're dimmables. But I won't be able to get the 1000 par I would like to put on these. You know, I'd really like to get up there in that range of 50 of DLI and with CO2. These lights won't do it. Even if I put a third one of these in the middle, it won't do it. Now this tent over here, this AI tent with ion light, that would do it. I mean, part of me would love to just stick that light in over these two puppies, but I've got, you know, veg plants in there that are gonna, you know, be in flower right after these, and that's how I keep it going. So every 8 weeks I get more weed. But so yeah, so the VPD's great on these. Yeah, I'm at about 68%, 79 degrees. So, you know, and I'll lower that, and I'll lower as it goes. Again, I'll defoliate this. So yeah, these are 5-gallon pots, Fox Farm Ocean grown soil, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I've been using it forever. I'm just showing you a little bit of that. I've partial millimeter. My CO2 is coming out through that fan right there. I don't have these ones moving. That tent does everything. It moves the fans. If you can lower your lights before a half hour, it crazy shit. But so I plan on growing some good Godfather OG here. These are 2 plants that were pretty decent. I did clone this right plant, and it's in that tent over there, along with I think I planted Lava Cake and Gary Payton. So there's 3 of those over there. And you know, they need to be transplanted, and then I'll grow them. And what I'll do is, you know, I don't need to take that Godfather in this tent over here. I don't need to take that to flower, but I can pull more clones off it if this bitch right here. Excuse my language. Sorry if that fucked with your ears, but. So I can, yeah, then I'll know, hey man, keep that bitch going. You know, this is a badass plant, grows fast, you know, nice flowers. I'll be honest with you, 3 weeks, look at that. You know, these are wanting to grow. You know, no trellis nuts here. This is silica. You guys need to look into silica. I still got room to raise this up. But these are still not small plants. So, but I've spared everything. By the time the buds grow, it'll be good. So it's a long video. I'm feeding them CO2, Spider Farmer SF 1000s. Probably wouldn't hurt to stick one in the middle and have 3. But still, you ain't gonna get you 1,000 par. The light I got over here, this AC Affinity. It's the first, you know, and I've had a lot of Spider Farmers and HIDs and different shit. I'm just starting to get into this different type of growing. So I really wanted to see if you kept the VPD, vapor pressure deficit, and the daily light integral, if you kept that in perfect range. And I found out that just from growing over the amount of years I've grown, that I pretty much keep it in those ranges anyways. But I did not, other than, you know, I just would hang the, what are those bags called? You know, the CO2 bags you hang it up high. It's the same thing. It's mycelium. It just, because it's heavier, it falls down on the plants. So, but this is the first time that I've given these plants more CO2, that I'm gonna strip off more leaves or defoliate more than I normally would. But again, I'm still giving these plants high humidity. We're in the 3rd week of flower, so that's not a problem. There's a lot of wind flowing here, and or airflow. I'm sorry, circulation. So they're looking good. You know, Seedsman Seeds. I'm real happy with this plant. I did strip it quite a bit today. Cut off a lot of little satellite. You know, you dig down the middle and look for them 2-inch sucker branches. You know, shit like that. Shit that's just gonna slow down your growth. And you know, and leaves. But try to leave a few big leaves on so that you can tell if something's developing. Because you know, if you have a problem with your plant, that's where it's going to show up first, your old leaves. So I always leave a few of those on. But over this week, I'll pull off more of these leaves because it doesn't need this many to live. Some people debate this, but I find I get a higher bud count. So we'll see. I'm going to try to see what I can get out of this little 2x4. And I think I planned it just right for the height and size. By top dressing and refilling the plants, it doesn't allow the soil to die out on me, and so I appreciate it. And if that just screwed up, my battery's dead. So on that note, hey, I hope you're growing some great weed. It's cool to talk to you, and peace.